is. I'm Jen Burson, founder of Generation PR and creator of the Profitable PR Pros community, as well as programs like the Pitch Lab and Agency Accelerator, which are designed to teach you how to become a pitching powerhouse and then launch, grow, and scale your own profitable PR agency. This topic today is all about imposter syndrome, because people may not even know what it is. Like, you've heard of it and you're just like, do I have that? What is that? So we're going to talk about how it affects PR professionals in particular. What is imposter syndrome? I've heard that the greats like Oprah, Maya Angelou has talked about experiencing imposter syndrome. Natalie Portman gave a speech at Harvard about experiencing imposter syndrome. And you might think to yourself, how could they feel like they're imposters? You know, what is it? It's sometimes when a person feels that they aren't truly as successful or deserving of their position or where they currently are. And they have anxiety or fear that they're going to be called out as a fraud, or that they themselves feel like a fraud. So what we tend to do is, when we look at other people's success, we see just that. We see their success. And then when we look at ourselves, we see the full story. All of the learning that we have to go through, all of the struggles, maybe the failures that we've experienced in the past, and then, of course, our successes. So other people have a full story of ups and downs, but we're only typically seeing their successes. Like, we kind of see these people that are overnight sensations. And then you don't really realize they've been struggling and struggling to get where they are to be an overnight sensation for 10 years or around that, or they've pivoted or made other missteps to get where they are. So when we look at ourselves, we see the missteps, we see the false starts, we see the things that maybe didn't go the way we expected, and you have this full picture. And we're also harder on ourselves than we would be on other people. So that's kind of where it comes from. It's this feeling of like, do I deserve to be here? These people are more qualified than I am. Maybe they haven't struggled as much as I have. That's kind of what that feeling is. It tends to creep up and rear its ugly little head when you're stepping into a bigger stage or stepping onto a bigger role, when people shift away from working at a firm or doing PR in-house somewhere and go to start their own agency, because now they're saying, well, I'm completely brand new at this, and people are going to think like you just started. Well, no, you didn't. You didn't just start. You have your entire career or professional experience that got you to this place. And that is still within you, and that will serve your clients when you are running an agency, and that will serve you knowing that you already have all these successes and experience, whether they're not quite successes, but you've learned from them. That's coming with you as you start your own agency, but that's when we tend to see it. So how does imposter syndrome affect PR professionals? It's one of the reasons that this tends to affect people in our industry is because sometimes it's hard to quantify the results that you're getting for clients. Sometimes the success of campaigns is, maybe obvious to us, but it's impossible to definitively measure. Something like you got X sales from this feature. We don't really track metrics like that. It's hard for us to quantify because we can't measure. It doesn't mean that there isn't immense value and worth in the work that you do. PR is critical to the success of your clients, and you need to remain confident in that no matter what. And the other thing that we tend to deal with a lot as PR professionals is rejection, hearing no, or the other thing is hearing nothing. And I think that's almost worse, because we tend to doubt our approach altogether. Like, am I doing this right? Why am I hearing crickets? Why isn't anyone responding to me? Did they even get my email? Am I sending it to the right person. So it's like second guessing your approach when you don't hear anything. And this is just the nature of our industry, right? We hear a lot of rejection. Sometimes a strategy that we put together or a campaign, it'll flop. Ghosting happens all the time to even the biggest, names in PR, the biggest agencies charging multiple 5-figure monthly retainers still get ghosted by journalists and writers. Whenever we step into a bigger role and we're serving bigger clients with bigger retainers, I start to second guess, are we qualified to do this? Am I qualified to be charging that? And then you start to spiral like, oh my God, I got to get results. I got to get them now. I can't disappoint them. This is like a bigger, stakes are higher at that point. And that feeling is really showing you that you are stepping into your purpose and serving in a bigger way. It's that this is the moment that you are growing personally and professionally. So that's to be celebrated, right? The reason PR professionals feel this way is that there are so many factors outside of our control. So we could be awesome. We're great storytellers. We've got a great contact list. We think we have a great client. There's so many factors that play here. It could be not the right timing. You might not have reached the right person. The pitch might just be a little bit off. Maybe your client's product isn't quite new enough for that media contact. It's not just your expertise and your ability to pitch. It's other factors that are outside of our control, but it's so easy for us to get caught up in thinking that we're not doing a good job when things don't go as planned. Don't beat yourself up about it. Use it as a learning opportunity to do better next time.